GAPS Practitioner. This video is a part of a series which is the who, what, when, where, why of GAPS. So first we'll start with who. Who is GAPS for? So Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride is the person who created GAPS. She's a brilliant doctor who I really deeply respect, who taught me the most important lessons that I've ever learned in my life about health. And I'm so lucky to have been certified by her and taught by her all of the beauty of GAPS. And she originally created the GAPS protocols, which is food supplements and lifestyle change for kids with autism, kids who are born with a lot of neurological symptoms, who she noticed also had a lot of gut problems. And this has been noticed by physicians for a long time. But most people think, oh, well, you must have a stomach ache because you're stressed. So it starts here and then it causes gut problems. Well, she put forth the theory that it starts here in our guts, and then things leak into our body and affect our psychology. So her first book was Gut and Psychology Syndrome, and talks about things like autism, dyspraxia, ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, depression, schizophrenia even. So that was how she started and why she started at her clinic in Cambridge, where she the whole movement began. So that's who started GAPS. Who is GAPS for? GAPS is for everyone. So Dr. Natasha started with this patient population of children who were very sick and needed help. But as she continued her practice, people began to go on her protocols and see amazing changes in all kinds of other conditions as well. And if you think about the gut being like the gateway to your body, if the gate is broken and open, then anything can leak in, and wherever it goes will cause different problems. If it goes to the brain, it causes this problem. If it goes to your joints, it causes another problem. If it goes to your lungs, it can cause another problem. And Dr. Natasha touched on this briefly in her first book when she talked about asthma and some other glue ear and other really common physical conditions that children with GAPS have. But she recently came out with a second book, Gut and Physiology Syndrome, which details several other more everything below the head conditions, things like autoimmune, allergies, arthritis, fatigue, gut problems, hormone problems, and also neurological disease. So that book is amazing, highly recommend it. But so who needs this? Everyone. And I would conjecture that the average Joe walking down the street today in my country, in America, is pretty sick. Why? Because we're all exposed to a bunch of crap that we have no control over. Things in our water, things in the air, things in our food, particularly in our food. The chemicals that we're using to grow food these days was originally developed for warfare, and we have repurposed those chemicals for our food. And as a result, there's warfare going on in our bodies. And because it's so common and it's happened so gradually over time, most people just assume this is normal, that, you know, oh, everyone has headaches, oh, everyone struggles to sleep, oh, everyone has a stiff back and kind of pain in their neck, you know, all the time, and that's just the way it is. But the truth is, that is not the way that it has to be. That's not the way that it is in a lot of traditional cultures who live a very physically demanding life and eat very simple foods. People like the Maasai or other traditional groups that haven't changed much or introduced Western foods that are tainted with these chemicals. And the way that they process their food, they're really healthy. They don't get headaches. They have easy labor and delivery when they birth babies. They are sharp. They have a clear mind. They sleep fine. They sleep in the night and they're awake in the day. yeah, basic things that we just assume are difficult, that life is hard, so this is the way it is. But no matter who you are, you have some health issue of some kind. Most Americans today are on medications regularly. If not prescription, then over the counter. And we're just popping pills for something. And instead of just trying to cover the symptoms, we should take a look into where these symptoms are coming from and what are some simple things we can do to change that. A lot of people push exercise these days, and that's amazing because exercise is so good for you. But this is another core health concept that everyone needs. Just like everyone needs to exercise, everyone needs to sleep, everyone needs to have a healthy gut. So whoever you are, if you have a gut, if you've got a stomach and a small intestine, then you need GAPS. One person's journey looks very different from another person's journey. Some people, they'll go through GAPS in a month. They'll do the intro diet, they'll go through the whole full GAPS diet, and then they'll feel amazing. They'll be at the peak of health in just a short amount of time. Some people, they have really severe conditions like fibromyalgia or autism, and you're gonna be on a much longer journey than someone who just has a little bit of eczema and that's it. So whoever you are is a great foundation for beginning the next step of health. Who needs GAPS? You need GAPS. I need GAPS. We all need GAPS.